Okay.
Okay, we should be live. It says meeting is now streaming live on Facebook. Hey, we're there. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Color Chats with Moira. I am absolutely thrilled and unbelievably honored that Melissie Jolly, the founder of Color Mirrors, has agreed to be with us today. Welcome, Melissie.
Thank you. And not honoring, this is always a lovely thing for me to do. To see new people and spending time with you is always a gift. So lovely. Thank you.
And I apologize if I don't get all the technology right, because I'm sitting here with my little phone next to me because I like to know what people say when we're chatting and answer any questions they have. But for some reason, it's not updating. So give me 1 minute to just kind of do buttons here. It's such a big difference to when I used to do the Magenta show, Melissie, because then I had Michael and wonderful Shannon pushing buttons for me and kind of, you know, doing things. And doing this all yourself is pretty hairy.
No,
yes,
I think it's impossible.
Yeah. You know, when you channel energies, right? And you kind of want to stay in the moment and in the energy. So let me just make sure. Okay, there we go. We are live. I can see it now. Right. So all I have to do now is mute the sound and then I can see. Okay. So we've got Deborah's joined us from the US, Lisa from US as well, Yvonne, Judy, Canadians. Blessed to see you together, says Judy. Thank you, Judy. Michael's tuned in. Tracy Dudley from South Africa. Ariel also from Denver in the States. Carol Westmore. Oh my goodness, I haven't heard from you in a long time, Carol. And Lynn Mill, Joan Arjun. All our favorite people are here, Melissie. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely.
So Zara saying hello. Okay, guys, so this is amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. We got a little, Melissie and I felt into what we were going to chat about, and over the weekend we kind of messaged each other, and it kind of came with, well, let's see what comes up, as Melissie always does.
Yeah, so brace yourselves. We don't know.
We don't know either. But let me see if I can switch camera, because I really would like you guys to see what the bottles are, the bottle pick for the week. So it wouldn't let me go earlier. So let's just see if it works now that I'm live. I'm going to go switch camera. And is it going? No, for some reason, the camera just will not work today, guys. Okay, so literally what I've got going here is your essence bottles. I'm just going to have to hold it up and wing it, as we say. 1, 2, and 3. I know it looks weird on the screen, but 1, 2, or 3. It's an essence pick this week. If you pick 1, 2, or 3, then we will give you a little message at the end of the show today. Which one are you keen on, Melissie? 1, 2, or 3?
2, I think, just because that's where we are.
Actually, 2 is my pick too, and you're going to love it. I love it. So pop in if you like 1, 2, or 3 in the comments box below. Please, as we're live now, share it in your timeline, share it in groups that you think might be interested in the content that we discuss here. It is open to sharing the show, and let's get some other people engaged and to join the Color Chats group with me on Facebook. So that's all the background stuff I have for you. Well, interesting times, Melissie.
I don't even have words anymore, Moira.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was sent you a message just before we went live. What my morning was this morning. I've been working with a client whose dogs, the family dogs, were bitten by mambas, and I've been chatting with her. And then I've had a client whose name also happens to be Moira, who had her husband rushed to hospital with bleeding in the brain, apparently. And then as all this is going down, I see the ambulance pull up in front of our house, and I'm thinking it's the newborn baby next door, because I've just had a baby, and I, wanted to go and see if I can help in any way. Turns out the neighbor across the road had a heart attack, and then his wife arrived and collapsed in a heap. So the whole thing today has just been about everything just feeling like it's buzzing in the air. And then I get back in from all of that, and I get a photograph of a smashed bottle that a client sent me that had broken. And of course, it's copper, because I wanted to talk about copper in today's show as well. So every week I feature, for those of you just tuning into the show, every week I feature two colors: an oil bottle in Color Mirrors. We're on bottle number 2, which is Blue the Moon, and a copper bottle, which is Uriel, Archangel Uriel. So it feels like possibly those colors are something to do with all these events that are suddenly happening, Melissie.
It does feel a bit like that. And it's pretty weird stuff if you think about it, because neither of those should be big dramatic events. I mean, copper is kind of the earth and the stability and the solidness of the earth, and blue is peace. So whatever the hell is going on is certainly not stable or peaceful. It's clearly massive changes happening on the planet, as we know as we're going through it. There are so many changes and so many kind of unexpected things. You know, I think the whole thing, and maybe that's the key to all of it, is the whole thing is what last year for me was about, is you have no control. Whatever you thought you could control, give it up. There's no chance of trying to control anything anymore. It's just no longer what we're about. We're now having to trust the process and step back and let it flow and let it unfold and be in faith. And the one thing that I've learned that's really been helpful for me in the last bit is control is the opposite of faith.
Yeah.
Not fear, not anger, not all those other stuff we kind of put in there. But if you're trying to control it, it's because you have no faith. If you have faith, you can trust the process. You don't have to try and control it. So that's kind of a big deal. And I think all these lovely, peaceful, stable and peaceful colors that we're looking at today is just saying what you think it is not what it is. There's a different way of being peaceful and stable, for that matter.
Yeah. Oh, I think so. And you know, I'm an Aquarian, so for me, this change and things that are happening to me is completely normal, because my whole life has always felt unstable. It's always felt in movement. It's always felt like sudden, unexpected changes arrived. And of course, my go-to has been faith, to hold the faith no matter what. So for me, the energies that are happening right now feels actually pretty normal. I'm not as shocked as most people are with the changes. And I happen to get a Sharon who's on the same birthday as me, who's stuck in Thailand at the moment because of the changes happened. She's an Aquarian, and she sent a newsletter out this morning, and she said something similar along the line. She said for her, this feels like what she was born to be and it feels completely normal as an Aquarian. So which star sign do you think is having the most difficulty out of the 12 zodiacs, is having probably the most difficulty with this control issue? What is, I don't know if you've noticed any of them that are, you know, particularly not having such a good time in trusting and having faith?
I'm not sure, Moira, but I have just, as you speak, I'm just thinking a number of Aquarians in my life have had weeks from hell just this last little bit. So it does seem to be quite an Aquarian thing to be just really tipped over. And I think, you know, the Aquarian thing is a little bit about wanting to be in control, because it's never felt stable. So you've always kind of tried to hang on and make it stable and make it safe. And that stuff is just being ripped out. It's like, give it up. You can't. It's not your job.
Yeah, because I mean, Aquarians are air signs, but they're water carriers. So everything is about treading water and floating in the air and not feeling solid ground underneath.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Because I do notice with my clients that they do struggle with copper as an energy. So what I think I'll do, I'm just going to quickly have a look at who's commenting for us here, and then I'm going to show a couple of slides to our viewers today. Michael is saying he's bottle 3 today. Anne McVie says she's 1. Let me just see if anybody has any comments or questions for us here. Please, if you have any questions for Melissie, would you please pop it in and let us know. Hillary Scott says she's choosing number 1. Amy Bell, number 2. Oh, same as me and Melissie. Amy, you've got the same choice as us. Okay, fabulous. So it's an essence bottle today, 1, 2, or 3. My camera won't switch to the blank bottles. I don't know what's going on. I wish Michael was here to help me. But let's go to have a look at a couple of slides. Switch screen, go to basic. There we go, guys. Okay, so Melissie, you did say you could see the slides there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the bottle number 2 in color mirrors, and it's everything to do with the moon. It's pale blue at the top and royal blue at the bottom. And those are kind of the key phrases around this bottle. So it relates to the moon, tide, season cycles. It's about the throat communication, taking responsibility for your word, being heard. Peace, 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 peace. Connection with the angelic realms. And then it also, this bottle, when people pick it, it says to them very clearly, look, if you don't feel safe right now, feel this blue cloak of protection. So what can you add to this for us, Melissie? What is your experience with this bottle, your personal experience, or just watching your students and people over the years that have connected to this bottle?
Do you know what, Moira? It is one of my absolute favorites in terms of what it looks like. I have never, ever bathed in it. I've never really done anything with it. But I'm also, it is about communication. And for me, the communication has not been an issue really. So it's not a thing I need to go to. And in my journey, the other thing that it's about is that it is about authority issues. Now, that's a bigger problem for me. I absolutely, passionately hate to be told what to do. And so I kind of understand that there's a little bit of resistance to it because the pale blue is easy, it's home, I love it. But the minute I go into the dark blue, I'm like, don't tell me what to do. So I can kind of see that I've always kept my distance from it in a way. And what's really funny, of course, is that the other one that is my total kryptonite is the copper. So today you've brought me to...
Sorry.
Yeah, nice. Thank you. That's what happens.
I have the same problem with copper.
That's what happens when your friends are psychic. They tip you in the deep end.
Yeah, so I'd love to know from viewers what they think of this bottle number 2. Is it a favorite of yours? Have you been resisting bathing in it? And have you had any special experiences with it? So actually, the moon bottle in the 2021 predictions, I've been doing this for about 11 years, the predictions. I'm tuning in through the lens of color mirrors and then going into the planets and numerology and coming up with something that seems to be just a point of reference or a guide for us during the year. So people that are in a 2 year where the moon is actually a big feature, this is kind of what I put on the slide. And maybe people, if you're interested, you can take a snapshot of this, or you can pop onto my academy to go and have a look at some more information there. The moon is the perfect mirror to gaze into as it reflects back to you the areas where you can self-nourish more. So definitely the moon energy for people in a 2 year, it is about you taking better care of yourself, pampering yourself, being kinder to yourself. The keynote for people in a 2 year this year is peace. So this bottle is that the peace part of this bottle is very important for you, because you really hear this is about not just being a peace portal for people, but encouraging people to love it right instead of fighting it right. One of the big mantras that you taught me, Melissie, is to not fight. You love things right. So I wanted to share that slide there. All right, so let's go look at our copper Archangel Uriel. So these are the key words. Angel of the North, that's his energy. He represents the element of earth. He creates heaven on earth with ease. We'll show you how to do that. But Melissie, the big thing for me was there's no difference between where you came from and where you are. That's a big message that I found that this bottle gave me. And I actually have him here with me. I'm going to give him a little spray and just send that energy out to everybody. Just feel that, guys. Oh. What is your connection to Uriel? I mean, if copper is your kryptonite, looking at through the energy of an archangel, does that make it easier?
It makes it way easier. I mean, the earth element and this one, truly, I'm so at peace with, and the copper angel, or the copper dragon. I really love all of those. I can do it in the essences, but I cannot bath in a copper bottle. But for me, this one really is, it's a reminder of, this is an archangel. And we tend to go, the earth is this other thing that we can ignore and walk away from and not really connect with. And until we do, while we're thinking that's other, and we're not that, we're so spiritual, we're nothing to do with what goes on there in the mud. While we're doing that, we cannot manifest a damn thing. Mm-hmm. So this one is really see how big and how powerful the earth is, and that you are part of it. And therefore, most of your power also comes from your connection to the earth, not just your spiritual power. You also have to put your feet on the ground and go, I am this. I am absolutely made up out of every single element of the earth is also in us. And when we get that, and we get the kind of how synergistic the whole thing is and how it works together, and that heaven on earth is the same thing, and that up and down, and it's all as above, so below, it's all part of the same stuff. And we're kind of the bridge in the middle of that. And we consist of both. So I think this one is kind of the one that eases you into that thought, saying, look, I'm not mud and grubby earth stuff. I'm an archangel. I hold all the light. And how I hold it is through my connection to the earth, which is a very powerful message.
And beautiful. Oh my goodness. I hadn't thought of looking at him through that lens, Melissie. And as you said, it's like my spine just straightens and I feel taller, when you're speaking about him in that way. Yeah. And I know for me that life didn't feel safe and anchored and grounded until I accepted that being a human is actually okay. Being in this body, it's okay. Doing all this human stuff, it's okay. And then only then could I also then start seeing what actually did heaven on earth look like for me. And that whole thing culminated about 10, 11 years ago when I met Paul, and I committed and I anchored and I landed, and it made a big difference for me. But I don't think I would have even seen the possibility of a long-term commitment and marriage and partnership if it wasn't for that landing on earth. So I think the copper's that to do with that in a big way. Yeah, but copper's not bottles people pick in readings, and only on workshops now and again I've noticed they pick them. And I remember you mentioned you had that same
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, it's a rare thing, except every now and again you get somebody who only chooses copper bottles, and these people are the most delicious, earthy, just lovely people. They always seem to me as if they don't have any guile, there's nothing hidden about them, there's nothing that they're hiding. They just, here we are lovely, and what you see is what you get.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
And I really like the idea that what somebody said to me is, oh, this bottle is honey sweet with love.
That's a nice way to describe it, honey. Okay, so for those people who are in it too here, you also happen, this is just synchronicity, to have Uriel as your guide this year, to have him as to come on the journey with you. And he specifically says he'll help you walk your talk this year. So he's a teacher energy. So he's going to help you to step up and share your knowledge, which I think it's always a sign of growth in somebody growing spiritually, is when you begin to share what you know. And he's also going to help you work with females, and he's going to help you stay grounded, and he's going to bring students to you. He's also going to help you heal mother issues. So there's just a lot of little issues that come up in a 2-year that he's going to be useful for you. So I hope you enjoy his energy. Such a beautiful smell, it's earthy but it's sweet at the same time. I don't know what's in this one.
I haven't the vaguest idea, Moira.
It smells a little cinnamony as well, so it does have that grounded smell.
I'm sure it has all the same stuff as earth, and then I think we literally kind of sweetened the earth to get the connection with Uriel.
Yeah, definitely. It's lovely. I love it. Absolutely love it. It's saying here that Joanne says, I'm deeply with copper right now. Joanne Arjun here in Canada. I took a bath in G5 and the copper dragon. Oh, that's nice, Jan. Oh,
lovely.
Nice stuff's happening in her life right now. So I'm not surprised she's connected to that copper energy. Regina Neal says, in the beginning of my experience with color mirrors, Uriel was one of my first pick and Peridot was the other. Oh, nice.
Wow.
Catherine Borg says she connects as well. So there's a couple of people connecting. I think Tracy said something here. I keep seeing 2s, like 22s or triple 2s or quadruple 2s. So I resonate with a bottle, I'll bath in it. That's the answer. Bathe in the bottle. It's got messages for you.
Brilliant response. That's exactly what it wants you to do.
Yeah. And of course, color mirrors is an energy system. So the bottles have a way of talking with us as well. And sometimes they pop and they fall off shelves and they leak and they do weird things and change colors back. And this is the picture this morning of a client who's got some really deep family issues going on around being safe on the planet. And she sent me a picture saying the G1 is called Incarnating. It's copper and clear, had just burst in the post. All the other bottles arrived safely, and just this one packed right in the middle just kind of just exploded and arrived in pieces. What would we say to somebody like that, Melissie? You know, what do you think the copper message is here?
You know, when a bottle explodes, we always know that is a thing that was so anxious and the energy was so urgently needed that it literally blows up, because it's got to get, all of it's got to get out to you right now, this second. And whether that happens in your house or on its way to you, that's really not the thing. The thing is that energy shot out and got to this person specifically because they were so desperately needing what it had to offer at that point. And it was about incarnating and being on the planet this time and not getting yourself off it and just committing to being here in the biggest way. Because I think this bottle gets chosen by people who might have, and this is quite a big thought, who might have committed suicide in a previous life. Now, I know for a fact that I've had some of those lives, if not just maybe one, but certainly one, but maybe a few. And the interesting thing was how I got there was I went at one point with massive depression, went to a psychiatrist, and I told her that I kept dreaming that I had long hair that I cut. And then the minute I cut it, I realized what a terrible mistake I'd done. And there was nothing I could do to fix it. And she said, you know what, that's a suicide dream. Somebody who has, and she was very spiritual and open to all sorts of other things, even before I really was. And she said to me, very often that kind of dream of something happened that I feel was so massively wrong and I couldn't fix it, is how people feel when they commit suicide. And you know what a helpful comment that was.
Yeah.
Because if that's how you feel when you pop your clogs and the first thing on the other side is, oh, I didn't mean for that to happen and I can't fix it and I can't get back and I can't make it better and I can't do anything about it because this was such a big final thing to have done. I think what happens is the soul pops straight back, and invariably in the way that the world works is we then come back with maybe even a bigger lesson to learn, you know, because we then go, oh, oops, I shouldn't have done that. And in case I want to do it again, let me just make sure I get it this time. Not by making it easy, but by kind of pushing yourself a little bit harder. Because remember, you choose it all.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, all your experiences. And then, of course, you know, and the paths cross with you and color mirrors, and then they get a bottle to help them to go work through that so that they can stay this time around. And work
absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much, Melissie. Really enjoyed that insight. And if there's any comments on that, I am still checking up on my screen here. My whole house when I was married, says Amy Bell, was copper, but never really made the connection till now. I think I've got my full. And Amy, strangely enough, painted her new studio because she's moved downstairs to a basement and created a new studio there, painted it blue. So she's also got this copper blue thing going on right now. And then, Melissie, if you'll indulge us some more, Constance in the Netherlands sent me a picture, and she says these are her 2 Uriel bottles. So, of course, the one is still, you know, perfectly copper there, and the other one turned this pale green color. So she asked...
She's tuning into big magic. I'm sorry, but best you come and do this workshop, darling. The other thing that you've got there is somehow your 2 Uriel bottles has turned into G6, which is the Goddess Awakens, and pops up for people when things suddenly start going right. When your world suddenly is coming up roses, when it's all going into the right flow, the right stuff happening at the right time, then that beautiful combination comes up. It is a combination I so passionately don't like, but I know when people pick G6, I always think, why did you come to me? Your life's perfect. What's this about? What do you need? And they go, I just needed the confirmation. I actually suspected it, but I was too scared to admit it to myself. But now that you've said it, you're absolutely right. Things are working out and everything is just falling into place finally after a time of difficulty and darkness.
Wow. Well, Constance, I hope that makes sense for you, because, you know, Constance is actually repeating the Columnist Practitioner with me in the online version. And I know that she's had quite a few breakthroughs during this 25-week program. So I think this is just the perfect message for her and where we're at right now. Well, Constance, we were looking forward for you to send us comments on this and tell us what you think about it, okay? And tag Melissie and us so we know what you say about it when you make your comment. Okie dokie. Oh, thanks, Melissie. Wow. Okay, so there is a combination, not in the system, but I actually asked you to make me a bottle, 2019, I think it was, where you could mix royal blue and copper for me. And I never, ever thought I would be interested in this as a combination at all. But at the time, I could feel something was happening. That was the time when Nostradamus burnt in France and in Paris, and it was just such a weird time. And then the rose gold lady came out, so all this sudden sacred feminine energy seemed to pop out into the world. And instead of me picking like feminine, pinky, corally kind of colors, this is what I had to ask you to make me. So I don't know if you have an insight into that. I'm sorry, I'm picking your brain here, Melissie, but while I've got you here.
You're welcome. I hear things I think that I didn't know I thought until I said it. There's a very specific thing about this bottle. I've made it a number of times, and I remember once making it for Kurani, and I kind of literally made it, and then I don't even know what the series of coincidences were, but suddenly she ended up at my doorstep, and what fell out of my face was, oh, it's this bottle, it's saying you home. Because what my sense of this bottle is that it's very deeply linked to the ruins in Zimbabwe. Oh. They were apparently copper clad outside, and so they were shiny, and they were a transmission station. They were it was an ET transmission point. And the beings that lived there were tall blue people. And when the black tribes came in and took over, they all went underground. And so now people are talking about the inner Earthians, but we kind of still think that the Zimbabwe ruins that they know very little about is where there was this connection, and it is a portal into the earth. So this kind of is despite its odd colors and earthiness, it has a very strong extraterrestrial link, but it's kind of ETs that made the earth home, that maybe were the original colonizers, or I don't know, that stuff. We can't prove any of this. This is just kind of little flyby insights.
Well, I love it. Thank you. Wow. Okay, I'm going to go look up those ruins and have a little read into that. You've given me some homework, Melissie. Thank you. Is anybody else, if you're drawn to this combination of the royal blue and the copper in one bottle, let's go and do some Googling after the show and see what pops up. Okay, so you have a workshop coming up, and it's actually happening this coming weekend. And I just want to put some details up for people here. It's called Big Love and Magic. And there is the date. It's the 20th and 21st of March. It runs, the time is 1 to 4 p.m. GMT both days. And the cost is £90, which it's about, I think it's about 180 Canadian dollars, something like that. But Michael, my son, has actually been on the show. I've just seen him. He's actually been in the comments box, and he's put the link in. So there's a form that you can apply to come to the workshop. And it is limited, so you want to get your registration in ASAP. And when you respond to the form, you are going to be given all the details on how to make your payment. So I'm going to come out of our screen share here, Melissie, so that you and I can just talk a little bit. So that little green bottle that was on there is your fig bottle. So I'd like you to tell us a bit more about the workshop. What can we expect on it? How did this happen? And I'm very keen to learn a bit more about this bottle that's got the fig essence in.
Oh, Moira, it's a difficult question. That I was sitting this morning thinking I am now scaring myself out of my wits because I have no idea what's happening this weekend. But I can feel that it's huge. And I mean, I literally, for the past 3 nights, I've been processing all night. So there's been stuff happening, and I'm so aware that that my house is kind of filling up with big energies. And you know what it's like when you're going to do a new workshop and the big guns start turning up, and you kind of go, "Ooh, guys, what have you got in store for us? This is going to be very exciting." It's going to be also the first time I've done an online thing. So without the technological knowledge and or anything, it could be a little bit challenging and exciting. It's also going to be interesting because as I've not done this kind of thing before, I'm a very relaxed teacher. And when I run out of steam, I say, okay, guys, play amongst yourselves, do a reading for a partner, share what you've just experienced. But obviously with in this way, you can't do that. So I'm not sure how this is all going to unfold. So you're all being kind of guinea pigged a little bit, but mostly me. My sense of this is that it is incredibly timeless because the big magic has to do with creativity, and the creativity has to do with not just being creative in the sense of artistic or, writing your book. It has to do with co-creating your reality because we are part of the creator, and because we are part of the creator, we are creative. But we need to take that seriously, and we need to do that with intention. So it's all about the intentions you set to make the world, to create heaven on earth. That's all you're here for. You exist because this is the time to step into that. And as we've just had a year of kind of reset in a weird way, this is the time. We're now being asked to take ourselves very, very seriously, where we can go, how do I want it to look? And I mean, all this stuff about vaccinations and no freedom, and the government's telling you this and that and the other, and oh my God, they've banned our booze. That was a big deal. I mean, really, you still think you have freedom, and then suddenly the bottle stores close and you can't buy wine. That was
I think you guys also, the smokers couldn't get cigarettes.
The smokers couldn't get cigarettes, but I don't care about them. I only care about the drinkers because them's me. So we've had a lot of stuff about having no power, having our sovereignty taken away, all of that. So part of what we're now doing is stepping back into, but what does it really look like? That's not the stuff that makes you free or powerful or creative. What makes you free and powerful and creative is taking yourself as a spiritual being having a human experience incredibly seriously, and literally being conscious and intentional with every breath you take. So a lot of what this workshop is about is going to be literally taking that step back where you go, when I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and instead of judging myself, I go, if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, if I forget to set an intention, may that lack of intention bring more peace to the planet. So you set an intention with, may this event bring something better to the planet, because your intention has unbelievable power. So when you go, may we be well and happy and free from fear. May all beings, those we've been and those we're yet to be, may they bring more peace to the planet. May they experience more love. When those intentions become just part of who you are, then everything shifts. And because we're doing it in a group, there's the biblical thing of where 2 or more are gathered in my name. The moment we've got a group together, something very big and other happens. So we are in a position and a place where we can really just take ourselves seriously and bring heaven to earth now. It's time.
I was just having a look if there's any comments here, Melissie. Anne said she's paid, she's going. Catherine says, can't wait. Oh, this is amazing, guys. So, just scroll back up in the comments. You'll see that Michael has put in a link to the online form, which you need to click on to apply to be at the workshop. So yeah, and the fig bottle, you know, this green, this pale green with these gold shimmery bits. What was the inspiration for that bottle, Melissie?
You know, I did a big magic workshop in 2017. And so this is kind of building on that, but making it bigger, better, more. And at the time, what we had was a pale gold and a pale kind of lime green bottle was the big magic bottle. Remember? Can you remember that you had, I mean, it's been floating around. And so I didn't want to make another bottle. I certainly didn't want to do the same thing. So I thought I would do a spritzer, and it was so interesting. I tried and I tried and I tried. Because I somehow wanted something with 3 colors in it. Well, the practicality said, no, you can't. So I ended up, because every time I added all 3 colors, it kind of turned a dusty gray thing. So, and then we got a new shipment of essential oils. And finally, we got the fig one that we've been looking for the longest time. And oh my God, it is addictively delicious. It really is a thing of great joy. So so then we made the spritzer, and suddenly when the fig came, it suddenly was there. And then it was obvious that it was going to be this lovely spring lime green with lots of gold for the magic, you know. So, and it really is just a delicious thing. I mean, Anna and Julie and I and everybody that walks in are walking around with one of these. We kind of use it as perfume. I can smell Anna and Julie coming in the morning because you just smell figs.
I love it. I love figs too, by the way. I love the fruit itself. I find it's quite a biblical fruit in a way.
Yeah, and I mean, this is fig season. So on Saturday morning, I picked the last figs out of my tree. They're now done.
Oh, good. Now, the other thing, Melissie, is that the colors that you chose for this bottle, that pale greeny color and the gold, those are really the Cathars colors as well. And I know that in Color Mirrors, we teach people around the combination of golds and olives being a Cathar lifetime. Do you just want to talk a little bit about that? Or is the Cathar lifetime the thing that stops us doing the big magic and love?
Absolutely. It's part of why we've all been so scared of the big magic, because in that lifetime we could do it so easily, and we could manifest it, and we could do alchemy, and we could make the gold, and everything was at hand. We could just manifest it. And then the church found out, and they went, "Oh, let's show us where you keep your stash." And the more we said there isn't a stash, we're creating it, the more they said, well, you're witches. And they did such horrible, horrible things. I mean, that whole Rennes-le-Chateau and all those stories about what happened in the south of France with the Cathars is still stuff we kind of carry, and that is still terrifying. So your body goes, now I'm going to be spiritual, and that's what I'm going to do for a living. So I'm going to manifest all this money, being spiritual and being of service. And then the minute you start making money, your body goes, uh-oh, that's not safe. Remember what happened last time you were rich and spiritual. So what we're now doing is we're saying, you know what, that's an old story. We now have the tools, and we have the wherewithal, and we have the knowledge and the intention to shift that, to absolutely go, that's no longer the story. We're now here to be of service with intention, healing the planet, healing ourselves, and bringing the magic back. We are magical. We're unbelievably magical.
And we forgot it. We forget.
Yeah.
And especially when we get bogged down in the day-to-day stresses of living and managing finances and families and health, and then you just get bogged down in those details, and then magic goes out the door. Yeah.
Exactly. Whereas the truth is, the fact that you can even think about stuff like that means you're magical. Do you know what it takes for your ear to hear, for your eye to see, for your brain to work it all out and make sense of it? And I mean, just the fact that we can look at each other, and of course, this whole situation with the technology, I mean, because I don't understand it, is just pure magic for me. But I mean, your body is a very magical thing. The fact that you can see stuff and your brain can make sense of it, despite the fact that you're seeing it upside down. You know, your eye is the wrong way around. So every image you see is actually upside down and your brain turns it the right way up.
Back.
That's already, that's
lens.
mad magic right there.
No, I wonder if anybody in the viewers who are watching have actually felt the workshop already, if you've registered or you're feeling a calling to it, because I remember when you just announced it, Michael came upstairs and he said to me one morning, and he was making, he says, Mom, I had this really weird dream. I think Melissie's having a workshop, because I dreamt I was on a workshop with her. And I said, oh, that's interesting. What? And he didn't know that I'd just been chatting to you. It was so weird. Then he said, oh, it was about transformation, magic, and alchemy.
Now there's for you a thing.
So of course he signed up to the workshop.
Our boy is so tuned in.
Yeah.
We brought him up well, Moira. You and I did a good job there.
Yes, we did. Anne says she can feel the energy already. Glenda said she sent in a form for the workshop. Moira Andrews, the minute I saw the magic bottle, I fell in love. Thank you. My bottle's in the post. I can't wait. Moira, and we're also sending you a big hug. It's your hubby that was taken to hospital last night. And Moira, of course, is a 15, which is the magician bottle. So she really resonated with this big magic bottle as well. So that's wonderful. Okay. So for anybody, if you are late tuning in, you haven't yet popped in, if you're interested in 1, 2, or 3 today, my second camera won't work, so I'm holding them up. Put in, you've got an essence to pick from, and then Melissie and I will give you a little message for the week, depending on which number you're drawn to. 1, 2, or 3, pop it in the comments box. Please share the show. Even when we put the recording up, please share it. Let's get the message of color mirrors out into the world. You know, talk about being Melissie being on, you know, kind of taking yourself more seriously as a spiritual leader and teacher. When I got this download 2 weeks ago that I must be in front of a camera again, everything in me resisted. There was I just didn't want to go there again. I did the magenta show. I did it for over 2 years. It was fabulous for what it was, and I couldn't see myself doing that again. But I really just felt such a peace with what energy was that said to me, get off your ass and get in front of the camera. Well, it was a peaceful feeling, but it did have a few little choice words in there. And I thought, well, the only thing I ever want to talk about is color and color mirrors. And that's it. So the whole show is about color and color mirrors. And now, instead of me feeling a trepidation before coming on and talking about color and, you know, having to be dressed correctly and mind my manners and check out with this, you know, the guests, although they were all really great and it was a great experience, there is now a different energy just turning up and talking about what lights up my life, which is color. And so, yeah, I think all of us, and me especially, has felt this nudge to be more in line with our soul purpose and in marketing terms, they call it niching yourself. You know, niching yourself is specializing in what you're good at and not kind of getting distracted by everything else around us. So for me, definitely, I'm looking forward to what I can get out of the Big Magic Workshop, because I know it's going to be another level for me, as is every time I connect with you in your workshop over the years. I mean, I've been with you since 2003. It's been a long journey, 17, 18 years going on for it now. So, but every time I get something out of it, definitely. So even for those people who've been around color mirrors for a long time, please come to the workshop, join us. Let's co-create. Let's put our energies together and co-create some magic on the planet. I think that feels right.
That feels perfect.
Catherine Louise Jones. Oh, Catherine's on. Hi, Catherine. Glad you're back, Moira. That sounds like Melissie's voice to get out there. Is she challenging you, Melissie?
Yep, there we go.
She's challenging you. Yeah, Catherine, I wonder what number you're drawn to this week, 1, 2, or 3. And of course, Catherine, by the way, for those of you who don't know, is really the supportive force behind Melissie and Jolly when it comes to the websites and the technology. And she's actually helping you with the technology with your workshop this weekend too. So we're so grateful for her there. Okay, so before I go to the picks to give to the audience, 1, 2, and 3, we're going to shuffle and pull a shadow card. I'm talking to my website guy this morning to get a timeline on when we can go live with the page and start the sale of the deck. And when you purchase your deck and possibly the accompanying course that goes with it, I will be collecting, it's going to be a pre-launch special price. I will be collecting the funds so that I can actually get them into print. So it's definitely going to be a collaborative energy. So let me just pull one that I don't know what I'm putting. Oops, my deck's falling out. Okay. Phobias. Green, not my favorite color. I know. I pull my nose up too. Well, it ties in with the conversation we had at the beginning of the show, Melissie. You fear what you cannot control. This is the shadows.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Your panic and anxiety disable you. And then, of course, the positive, when you get a hold of this part of your shadows pattern, I am safe to enjoy being on this planet and I am an empath. So it's exactly what we were talking about at the beginning of the show.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
So please take it to heart this week, guys, and listen to, if you only joined in later, go back to the beginning of this and watch what Melissie said about how we are not able to control things and how we have to step into the opposite of control, which is faith. And I think the shadow card has just pushed that one for us as well. Okay, let's have a look. Who's picked number one? If you've picked number one, and I randomly pick these bottles on a number generator on Google, you've got Pink Angel. So if
nice.
anybody who's picked number one, so what would you say is going to happen to them this week, Melissie, if Pink Angel's going to hang around them?
Well, they just are going to be in a place where there's so much love and so much acceptance and so much self-acceptance. And just really, this week is the week to love it right and to be loved right. You know, it also is about being able to receive. And that one says it's all very easy to give all of it, love and the rest, but can you receive it as well? So
yeah,
a bit more receiving going on.
Yeah. And as you're talking to me, I have little Cody dancing in circles here saying, please love me, please pick me up, the little shit. Come here. He's such a little thing. Okay, here we go. And there is number two. If those of you picked number two, guess what? Melissie and I picked two, and it's Earth. Copper. So the copper's not leaving us today, Melissie.
Get away, Moira.
Sorry. Okay, so what's our message for those of you with number two, copper?
That's definitely get earthed, get grounded, put your feet on the ground, be happy to be here. Start saying, make your mantra, thank you. Thank you for life. Thank you for the earth. I mean, there was a lovely old Spike Milligan wrote a book called Cocoon, and there was the kind of village idiot that was the main character, and he kept falling off his bike, and every time they picked him up, they said, "Are you all right?" He said, "Yes, the earth broke my fall." So start trusting that the earth is always going to break your fall.
Yeah,
I love it. It's there.
Yeah, and the thank
you. It's there and it's holding you.
And the thank you is important. If there's anything you want to manifest, start by saying thank you. I already and say I already have it. Paul was getting a bit frustrated the last couple of weeks. He hasn't had a lot of work, so I thought, oh well, let me do a little energy interference. I said to the universe, thank you for keeping my hubby so busy. And the next phone call I got from him, I don't know what's happened, but today I haven't stopped. I haven't been able to go to a bathroom. I haven't even had breakfast. And I went, I'm sorry, that's my fault.
Fabulous, fabulous. It's exactly that.
Yeah. And those of you who picked number three, my darlings, number three, we've got the Platinum Angel. Oh, it's another angel bottle because number one was the Pink Angel. So this is the Platinum Angel. So what kind of week do we think we're going to have in Platinum, Melissie?
Gosh, I think it's going to be light and lovely and easy and flowy. And if you tap into that Platinum Angel energy, that really is an incredibly supportive one. Whatever you bump up against this week, just ask that angel to step in and support you. It will be there for you and it'll light up the situation by showing you what it's there for. You know, I mean, we kind of go, instead of going, something bad happened, we go, what is this teaching me? Rather than, why me, Lord? Why did this happen?
Absolutely. Please, guys, the number three, if anything does pop up for working or You notice things happening, you know, don't go, why me, Lord, go, what is this teaching me? I love this about the Platinum Angel. Thank you, Melissie. That's wonderful. Sorry, guys, I didn't have the camera on. It wouldn't work today, so I had to hold up, and I know the numbers go back to front with this Zoom. All right, so we are looking forward to a pink, copper, and platinum week. Okay, let's just quickly have a look here. I'm still grinning at that copper, Melissie. Hillary says, love the pink angel and feeling the love and self-acceptance big time since the late fall, actually even through the COVID period. Sherry, oh, how I love pink angel. Thank you, and love to everybody. And Deborah says, platinum angel is my favorite. That's Deborah in California. Glenda says, I picked number 1. I'm in a 6 year on a month with pink angel. Laugh out loud. Thank you for the reminder about receiving. Yes, Glenda. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's fabulous. There's quite a few other. Oh, Catherine says, love Earth. Yep, need more grounding. Thank you. So she also took 2. Oh, my goodness me. So, Melissie, just to round us off and kind of just, you know, just to, you know, pull today together this beautiful blue that we've had, and the Archangel, Uriel, and all these lovely messages. I want to just say thank you. I kind of want to just put it out there that you changed my life when your colors mirror system, at that time it was actually called Color Works. That was back in 2000. I actually met you 2002 Christmas, just before Christmas, on a workshop, and then I came and did a second workshop in New Year in 2003. And that's when I just knew. The second time was like it just landed, and I knew that's what I was going to do. And it was a sense of this is what I was going to do for the rest of my life. And that's exactly how it's turning out. So I want to say thank you to you publicly for just being an incredible mentor and support and friend for me over the years. And that, you know, without your guidance and without your color mirror system to guide me, I would have just been a lost little soul on the planet. It has really been the most incredible, incredible guide. And what fun to do it through the colors, you know, to play with colors. So it makes my inner child happy as well. So I want to say thank you. You're
well,
amazing.
Moira, but you know what? It's the same for me. I mean, had it not been for you, not a single bit of this would have happened. I would have been this tiny little person in a garage in Stanford. Nobody would have known about me. So the real thank you is for you. Well, I just thank you that we found each other. I mean, really, it would not have made any sense.
Yeah, we have an incredible color family. I mean, Karani has, I mean, what a gift Karani has been, hasn't she? I mean, the books
Good
she's
Lord, and how.
And of course, you can also see the Color Mirrors, Wisdom of Color Mirrors book behind it. It's an epic book that is just, it literally is a color Bible. And the work she and energy she, dedication she puts into it has just been incredible, and all the other books. So, yeah, I think we're very, very fortunate that we have incredible people. And of course,
no, we have, yeah, no, we have found the most astonishing people. And look who's found me.
Look at it. Oh my goodness me. Oh, what a beauty, hey?
No, she knows it. She is so vain.
Love it.
Yeah, no. She poses endlessly.
Oh, this is how I do business. I've got this little one on my lap.
Yeah, all the babies, all the fur babies. Moira, it's been an incredible thing to have you in my life. And as you say, we've had incredible luck. I mean, color has mirrored the most beautiful people into our reality. My person at the moment is Catherine, because she is completely saving my life on Saturday. I would not even have known what to do had she not, well, I'd actually bullied her into it, and she was kind enough to say yes. But I said to her this morning, you ask a busy person. So she is having to scramble and dash to still support us as well. And it's just such a gift to have all you lovely people with us.
Yeah, everybody. And Catherine, thanks for organizing it. So I'm just going to check here. There is no other questions. Everyone is saying thank you. And there's lots of hearts and kisses, and even for Cody. Oh, there we go. So Melissie, I hope that you can come back again and keep the conversation going around color mirrors. We are going to feature the color mirrors teachers, practitioners, people who love color, anybody who's interested in color in any way to come onto the show and share their love for the system or their love for color, whatever it is they're into with us. So if you are interested, please let me know if you want to come on the show. And you just drop me a line and we'll arrange a date for you to come in. We're going to work through the whole system. I mean, I've got, 87 weeks? There's 87 bottles. So this is going to be Color Chats with Moira for 87 weeks. I am going to take some holidays in between though, eh?
Yeah, that's just, well, it's only 2 years. It's not that bad.
2 years. So the next 2 years is planned. That's apparently what I'm going to be doing.
Good.
Thank you, Melissie. I deeply appreciate you being here. And for all the viewers, I deeply appreciate you taking the time to come on, comment, and be part of the conversation and sharing the show with others. And please sign up to Melissie's workshop this coming weekend. You'll be so glad you did, because any connection with Melissie and bringing a group together is a life-changing experience. And there is a form that my son Michael has popped into the comments feed for you to sign and apply to be on the workshop. And when you fill in the form, you will get a notification from Catherine to tell you exactly how payment can be made. It's all very easy. I've already paid and signed up myself and Michael, so it is very easy to do. But if you have any questions, please just pop them in the feed. We'll catch up with your feed if there's any problems, or email us. All right. So that's it, my darlings. Color Chats week 2. Wow. Moon and Archangel Uriel with Melissie Jolly of Color Mirrors. Thank you so much. Melissie, donkey. Melissie. Okay, my darlings, we'll see you next week, and where we're going to be talking about number 3, and it's going to be Jupiter. Oh, interesting energy, coral energy next week.
Nice. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm just going to end.
Bye-bye.